Good evening. Hello, this is Anime Analyst. I am your host, Thomas Fry.
And I am your co-host Hasnan Zedi.
And we are talking about Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian into Night's anime. And yes, we are both going back to our school, college days to review this one because it brings back some memories on this. This started airing July 3rd. It is Daga and Kobu Studios. Its source is a light novel, and we love the light novels because there's a story there. And mostly you get a better anime when they're taken from a light novel because there's more what do you want to call it? There's more story to take from when you're making because the scenes go a lot faster in anime, just like in a TV show. So you need a lot of writing to get a little minutes, and 12 episodes of 23 minutes each. That's a lot of story you need to do that. The genre on this is comedy romance, and we know that that's on because we're doing that right now. Sorry about that. My alarm went off that says it's time to do the show. And it's rated PG 13. This thing is a well liked, it's got good popularity for only having 9 episodes out. Popularity rating is 941, and it was what was the 783 or something by
7.9 something.
7.9, but that's extremely high on that. But no, I was the other rating. I have the hang on, let me play. Oh, I gotta cut sound out on these. Okay. This is our main character, and this is just some floozy in the beginning that tries to get her, and she just outright, he's like the most popular kid in class, which I didn't see the similarities on the, mostly the popular kid would be the usually the best looking one or something like that, and they gave it to this dork, and he just completely crash dived trying to even get her information on this one. Our protagonist in this, their little group of the student council, basically, in this story, because the story kind of is centered around the student council and being on it and being on it. Now, I, growing up, was in a co-ed school. Me and Hussein were talking about this before we came on the air, of the different schools that we had to go through in our youth. So I kind of get this anime because I was on the school council, and I was on the school council in college too. What about you?
Okay, so from my side, like I have the school totally different. Like it was not co-ed. We have separate buildings for the girls and separate for the boys. I was, I grew up in Saudi Arabia, so they have really strict religion, and they like even the girls have to cover their whole body when they go out. So the time I spent there, I don't think I saw any girl other than on TV or
I kind of feel
internet.
bad for you on that because the girls have to cover up head to toe. I'm in Florida. You're lucky if they're wearing anything. I mean, they have days in school where bathing, I mean, they got pools in school. So you're around co ed in bathing suits. In the younger, in grade school, it's a one piece, so they can't bring any personality into it. But in high school, it's even more lax. It would where you're from, it would appall them to the max. I know they can't stand, because wow, what a difference in clothing and growing up in this. And I like this anime because it adds the element of her being a transfer student and Russian speaking, and her counterpart. understands Russian. He don't speak it very well, but he understands, as he says, conversationalistic Russian. And it's kind of the same thing of I've watched so many animes in Japanese language and English subtitles that I'm noticing myself. I'm picking up on words. I don't need to read the sub on everything I hear now because I've heard the words so often that I'm starting to understand. I'm going to know a whole nother language by the time we get, a couple of years into this to where we're talking about it all the time and I'm studying up for it and I'm paying attention to it. It I'm going to know Japanese. I mean, I may not be able to speak it.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry
think
I cut you off.
this is a good thing about the language. Like you start to learn it when you start listening it. Like I didn't like learn to speak English by reading it or by studying it. Like I learned English by watching English TV, English movies, and these things really help. Like, and that way, if there are like if you start watching some, I think I understand some Spanish words because most of the like recent shows that came out they have Spanish characters, and now if we are watching Japanese it will be a little bit hard for me because now this is really different, but everybody can learn a language by listening to it.
Well, and
uh,
as everyone knows, our
uh,
history.
there is
Go ahead.
there is one movie, I think if you have seen it, I think it's the 13th Warrior. Have you seen it, where 12 all the warriors from the English country and one is from Arab, and he don't know anything, but suddenly he start abusing them,
You're talking
and
the
they all
movie,
were
The
like,
13th Warrior, right? The
yeah,
regular
yeah,
movie.
the movie.
Okay, I that
Yeah.
movie scared the crap out of me the first time I seen it. I don't know why, but it just did. But I love that movie. To go back to the language thing, you and I met with from Black Ice Trucking. That was a company I owned a couple of years ago. He was my dispatcher and I was the truck driver, and we would spend hours and hours on the phone, especially that first couple of months I was out on the road. You were keeping me company. And I noticed then the longer we would talk, the more you would lose your accent. And by time we were done, it was like I was speaking to a Texan that grew up in Houston. A little bit of an accent, because Houstonites, we love them, but they have a little bit of, everyone in Texas has a little bit of an accent, unlike the rest of the country, just because it's wide open spaces. You got to go 80 miles to hit a second gas station. Over here, there's a 7-Eleven every other corner. In Texas, there's one every other 100 miles. So it's a little more spread out, and they got the y'all accent. And man, I had a bad accent when I was younger, because I grew up watching so many cowboy movies, and I'm a John Wayne fan, and I can't even remember all the names of the people that I grew up watching. Um, but those were some really good shows, and that's where I learned all my literature from. Which what makes what we're doing now, I think, better. But this, to get back to our anime, this anime is bringing up it more than it going off on a tangent about being something completely different or special. It brings up the memories, and it has brought up my entire school days, and causing the memories, grade school, high school, college, everything. I can relate to this in 100%. And
And for me, I think we can just hope like there is a time when we have schools like that. I know their dress code will be still same, like they cannot allow skirts in a Muslim country, but at least they can allow co-ed education. So like, because
but
while watching the anime, like I think right, we really miss this thing or this phase of the life in the school, and because my school was still high school, it was only boys school, so
yeah,
it
and
was
I
all
grew up
boys.
around skirts because I started in a Catholic school, which Catholic schools in the U.S. wear almost that getup. plaid skirt, white shirt, tie. Me a boy, long pant, navy blue, tan, khaki, or black, and white shirt, blue shirt, and black tie, blue tie. That's it. And then I went to a public school where it was different. You wear whatever the hell you want, and it was a lot more lax. And it, you know, college, I find myself back in a suit, but it was voluntary. You felt better about yourself when you're in college, and I'm paying for it. So damn it, I want my education. So I went dressed to the nines. I mean, suit and ties, three-piece suit most of the time. It made me want to do it better. So anyway, this anime has sent us down reminiscing lanes. So tomorrow I went to blank about and I covered it. All right, tomorrow is Failure Frame. So we will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. and we'll be here with another new anime. And it was good talking to you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is Thomas Fry, your host,
And this is Asnanza.
and this is the Anime Analyst. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll get this right yet.